of the Penn State Nittany Lions out at University Park. We are underway here. And Newark NJIT looking for their 9th straight win after starting the year 0-5 with losses against some of the best teams in the country. And it starts there with a combo block. Alex Hines and Victor Nowak. Bruno Figueiredo also involved. There we see it again. Triple block. That was Aleshu on the outside of that. Helped close it down. Figueiredo will serve. Again, NJIT, 2 losses to start the year out in the great island of Hawaii. Hawaii, a team that very well could win the whole thing this year. Another block. Reach out and stuff someone. Hines involved again, leading it. And Andre Aleshu contributing as well. And the Highlanders out to a 2-0 lead early on. After coming back from Hawaii, they went out to the Midwest, took on Ohio State, Ball State, 2 teams hovering around the top 10 before losing a 5-setter. How about 3 in a row? 3 straight blocks to start this one. Nowak and Hines. Hines, yep, that's 3 fingers, buddy. 3 blocks in a row. We'll see this again. And they are going to have a difficult time right now if they cannot find a way around this NJIT blocking scheme, which is off to the races. Serve was off of the tape. That one will find a spot in the back corner as that is put away by Robert Evangelista, who will drop back to serve. Highlanders' last loss came in a 5-setter against Purdue Fort Wayne. And since then, they have been steamrolling. That was on January 11th. They've won 8 in a row. Oh, hey, that's George Mason returning the favor. Combo block here between Lilly and Lopez. And we take a look here. That was Aleshu swinging out of the right side. The only time in the rotation that he will be there, typically it's Nowak. That's going to come over on one and back on one, and the Highlanders cannot have that happen as Jack Lopez, 6'5", sophomore out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, will feast on that one. And we are all of a sudden tied at 3. Good pass here by Lopez. Back set to Aleshu. Scorches that one. Andre Aleshu enters today as the 2nd leading offensive producer on the team behind Nowak. 148 kills, 3.08%. He's been a 2-time awardee in the EIVA this year. Once offense, once defense. And he's got a vicious serve, which comes over on one. Chance for the Highlanders to use Parker Moorhead. No, but that's a triple block. It is Welton teaming with Lopez and guess who? Alexander Lilly. Already got 31 blocks. Big time serve. Figueiredo to Hines, and that's going to fall in for a point for NJIT. So here's Alexander Hines. Alex is 6'6". Out of Hermosa Beach, California, 34 combined blocks on the year, 53 kills he's produced in all facets of the game, and he was supposed to be in the starting lineup when the year started as a freshman. Oh, look, he can play defense too. Probably played some beach out there in Hermosa Beach. And Parker Moorhead, cross-court smash. So Hines, we knew he'd be at least a middle 2 to start the season. But with Andrew Fedmasu out for considerable time with an injury, he's graduated to the middle 1 as a freshman. And Daniel Letkowski, who's out there in the middle now, has become the other middle, the middle 2. And both young middles are performing at top-notch speed right now. As that is put down by Lopez for the winner. Jack Lopez getting most of his opportunities to play here. Get a chance to look here at Aiden Welton. 107 kills, 122 points, 8 service aces. That's too long. The reason that Welton got the opportunity, well, that's because of a catastrophic injury in the first match of the year against Catawba. That was a 3-2 win for George Mason. But Liam French, a really dynamic player, tore his Achilles. First match of the year, he's a 5th-year player. He's done for his career. He is now kind of in a player-coach role on the sideline with Jay Hosick as that ball comes into our broadcast booth. He was their best point scorer and their best player. And, well, when one goes down, it's that next man up mentality. And Aiden Welton is capitalized. 7-6 NJIT. That one is gone as Jack Lopez looked like my golf tee shot as it sails off to the left. Here is Parker Moorhead. He has been in a competitive battle with Gustavo Churkanovich for the starting OH2 spot. Andre Aleshu in that starting OH1 spot. Here's Nowak swinging away for the first time. Nearly a carry comes over on one. Here's Aleshu, puts it down. Andre Aleshu. If you can't stop him, he and Nowak will put up huge numbers as a tandem. And the fact that the two of them have been so good has allowed Bruno Figueiredo to quarterback this team and use both middles well. Reach out and stuff someone. That's Aleshu and Daniel Lett on ESPN and NJIT. Second ESPN broadcast of the year. They won the first in 4 against Princeton. And a win today would move them to 4-0 in the league. And on that timeout, side out, Patriots as Elijah Lazor, 6'6" of senior middle out of Parksburg, Pennsylvania, puts it down. He's got 30 blocks on the season in 28 sets, and he will drop back to serve. Over on two, sneaky. Bruno Figueiredo read that so well. And he'll dump it in for a side out NJIT. They will get it right back. And we talked about the keys to victory for this one. For NJIT, that's the first one right there. Keep improving in your side out percentages. That means do not let teams score 2 in a row. If they score, get it right back. And they've done that very well here as that one sails long. Also on that list today, serving efficiency and pressure. Want to keep the Patriots off of the net, but just want to keep the ball in. And they need to continue to play with confidence, which they certainly are, having won 8 in a row. Here is Georgi Zahariev, the setter, to serve. And the Patriots are over the net. That'll be a side out NJIT. He is tough to see from this angle, but cannot make contact with the ball when it's still in the setter's hands. Meanwhile, the keys to victory today for George Mason. Finding a way to slow down Victor Nowak if you can, as that is put down by Alex Lilly. They also want to keep tabs, of course, on Andre Aleshu as well. They need to serve aggressive. They are a team that has a very low error percentage of the year. That's positive, but they are lacking that pressure that's going to allow them to beat the top teams, which NJIT certainly is right now, ranked number 19 in the country. Second week in a row, they're in the top 20, as that is long. And the last one, the last key when I talked to Jay Hosick yesterday, energy and passion from point one of this match. He says to me when they flip that switch, they're a much better team. They came out flat last week in the first of 2 matches against Charleston, and they lost badly. They lost 3-0, 19, 15, and 18. And they came back the next day and won in 3 against the same opponent, as that is put away for the side out. So they got to be fired up and not be flat. Highlanders lead by 3. Here is Alex Lilly. Fantastic debut a year ago, one of the top young middles in the country, and wow, he just ignited there. An ace for Lilly. 6th ace of the year, and that was almost like a back row 10 ball there as he puts it right in the seam. Back-to-back points here for Mason. They're within 2. Lopez is there for that tough one. They're going to leave it here for Nowak. Blocked back, played by Moorhead. On a recycle, changing the spot, but Nowak misses into the Mason bench. And the Patriots have scored 3 in a row. They're back within 1. Lilly, a player that certainly has fire as he unleashes another ace, and we're tied at 13. Back-to-back aces in 3 swings here for Lilly, who I was about to say, Jay Hosick said to me, he's a super fiery competitor, and there's no shortage of moxie in his game. As he misses that one just long. That is a great service run there by Lily. Highlanders will go to the bench. And I'll bring in freshman backup setter Adam Urinyuk here by Weehawken, New Jersey. Reason for the delay is Jay Hosick is having a conversation with Neil Kenzakowski, our R2. And I think they're going to challenge that one. And I think this is a good challenge because I thought it might have clipped the line. I think they're going to challenge whether that last serve by Lily was in fact in. And if it was in, that would be 3 aces on this service run, and Mason will actually take the 14-13 lead. Our officiating crew today, it's a very good one. Kevin Ball is our lead official. Neil Kenzakowski is our R2. Take a look at the replay. We look at it here. It's tough to tell from that angle because you can't tell the shadow if it clipped the line, because the lines here are gray. A little hard to see from this angle. If we have the side view, which I think Kenzakowski will have a chance to look at, be a little bit more of a definitive look. Jerome Best is on the George Mason side calling the lines. Paul Johnson right now on the NJIT side. You get 3 challenges to use as you would like. If you are correct, you win the challenge, you keep the challenge. If you lose it, well, you got 2 more. And each team awarded another challenge in the 5th set for a maximum of 3 to have. Don't lose a timeout like you do in basketball. There is Neil Kenzakowski taking a look at the video. There's Stephanie Flurry in the red shirt, the assistant AD for communications. She is the brainchild of everything that we do here at the Bloom Wellness and Events Center. They're looking at this from multiple angles. We'll see if we can slow this down. As Lily, see him aiming here for the back line. Again, it's so hard to tell from that angle. I can tell you definitively that was close. But without seeing the alternate angle from the line, really going to be difficult to say one way or the other. And if it's not conclusive, well, the call on the court will stand. This is the second of 2 matches in 2 days for these teams. The Highlanders will be home tomorrow, a very early start, 12 p.m. That's because it's a busy day in Highlander athletics. They will take on the Manhattan Jaspers for the first time ever. Brand new first-year Division I program out there in the Bronx. And George Mason will stay here in the Great Garden State. And they will head up I-95 to Hackensack, and they will take on the FDU Knights. FDU just pulled a shocking upset over Princeton. So FDU, a team that NJIT defeated 3-1 a few weeks ago. Well, they've certainly shown they have the ability to play with good teams. It was back on January 31st. Busy day here in Highlander Athletics tomorrow. 1:30, the men's lacrosse team will be at home. And then tomorrow night, wow, the basketball teams here at NJIT having historic years. Men's basketball teams half a game out of first place. They are 15-13 overall, but they're 10-3 in the America East. They have never made the America East tournament. They have never made the NCAA tournament. One thing we know for a fact, they're definitely making the America East tournament this year. And they're probably going to be the 1 or the 2 seed. They just had their 6-game winning streak snapped. They will host Vermont tomorrow at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, the women's team will be up in Vermont. They have just won their 17th game. That is the most in the Division I era. They've also set a road record with 9 road wins in a single season. That's also a D1 record, as they knocked off Albany the other day for the first time since 2008, their first ever road win against Albany. They're 1 win away from the all-time program record of 18 wins back when they were a Division II team in the 2004-05 season. So the Highlander men's and women's basketball teams having great years. The men's volleyball team is 19th in the country. It's a good time to be an indoor sport here at NJIT. So Neil Kenzakowski, I think he has seen enough to render a decision, and he will let our stats crew know what the decision is so they know whose point it belongs to. And looks like it's inconclusive, so the call on the court will stand. It was a good challenge for Jay Hausick and company. I would have challenged that myself. I thought it was close enough to take another look, especially in this tight first set. And that first set will be so crucial for the momentum in this match. Served there by NJIT after the long delay. Figueredo to Latkowski, who's going to put it down. Daniel Latkowski hitting .471 on the year. He would be among the league leaders if he had enough attempts. Now 68 kills and 120 swings. Only averages about 3 attempts per set though. Highlanders up 15-13, just long. And 1 point lead for the Highlanders. Back to serve will be the man we highlighted in the pregame, that's Aiden Welton. Big serve from Welton. We can leave it here for Nowak. Off the high hand, stabbing at that one. Great save there by Evangelista. Highlanders, can they capitalize? They leave it here for Moorhead. That is blocked back. A recycle, go right back to Moorhead, and he sticks it off the block to the floor. Parker Moorhead did not play as a true freshman. He missed all of that season with an ACL injury. Didn't play last year when he was recovering, so he is getting a chance, junior academically, but freshman, first year athletically, to earn a spot on the floor. Pull this one back, and the Highlanders will dump it over. Nice and high. Good choice here by Leishu to allow his team to reset. Nowak got a piece of it, but they cannot save it. And that's put away for a Patriot point. And George Mason within one, 16-15. And that's into the net on the attempt here by Jack Lopez. So Moorhead will drop back to serve, redshirt sophomore, 6'5", out of Glen Ellen, Illinois. He was a EIVA All-Academic Team honoree last year with a perfect 4.0 chemical engineering major. And he's had as many as 10 kills in a match this season. And that's put down by Georgi Zahariev. 6'7", senior setter out of Bulgaria. 186 assists on the year. He had the very difficult job of replacing Troy McDonald, who was a second-team All-EIVA honoree at setter in the lineup. And Andre Leishu bombs away. Side-out NJIT as they continue to roll up that side-out percentage. They will go to the bench. Daniel Letkowski will come out. And we'll get a look here at Harrison Gerard. 6'4" sophomore. One of the three outsides fighting for that second OH2 spot. He's out of Greenwich, Connecticut. Actually was in the lineup in the first match of the year starting against Hawaii. As he misses that one short. So hard to come in cold off of the bench. But Danny Gonsalves has confidence in his guys. Put him out there. Down one. Here's Zahariev to serve. Another tough serve. Figueredo's able to track it down. Leishu off the block. And Alex Hines, that is well covered there by Robbie Nardoni, who we didn't say his name yet. He's the L2 in this lineup. And that is put down by the Patriots. Take a look here at the swing by Evangelista. Cross court right in the corner, and we're tied at 18. So 2 in a row here for George Mason as they look to take the lead for the first time. And that one is long. I thought that may have clipped the line. And if not for the fact they lost that challenge earlier, they might have looked at this one. Yeah, I think that one was in, folks. 19-18 NJIT will take the point. And here's Bruno Figueiredo. Off the mark, chance for NJIT to shut this down. Leishu with the first touch. He'll swing away. Off the high hands for the kill. Kill number 4 and 7 swings for Leishu. George Mason will talk it over as the Highlanders now back in top 20-18. There you look at the NJIT bench as they hydrated. Tough day outside. It's been raining all day. The good news is with all the rain, the snow, which has been on the ground here in New Jersey, is finally starting to melt. We had a stretch where I don't think it was over 32 degrees for about 2 weeks straight. In fact, you had wind chills in the negatives for a whole week. That was a tough day to be walking to your car after work. But they're inside here. It's nice and warm, and Danny Gonsalves' team has been perfect at home this year. They are 5-0, and they look to continue that stretch. They could improve to 7-0 this weekend if they could knock off Mason and Manhattan. And if they do that, not only will they accomplish that feat, they would have won 10 in a row, which would be a new all-time Division I record. By the way, if you're curious, their all-time best winning streak actually came when they were a Division II team, when they won 15 in a row. That was at the start of the 1999 season, my senior year in college. Evangelista is going to find the seam there off of the high hands. Side out Patriots, and they stay within 1 in this seesaw opening set. They will hand it to Evangelista, who just put away his 3rd kill. He's got 3, Lopez has got 3. Weldon's actually been underwhelming so far. They've slowed him down, but they're not going to slow down miscommunication. An ace for Evangelista as he put it right between Leishu and Lopez. Miscommunication, now it's a race to 5, tied at 20. Goes right to Lopez. Leave it here for Hines, and that's short. And the Patriots with their first advantage of the day, leading 21-20. That first ball falling in, and the Patriots capitalize off of it. That's got to be Diego Lopez's ball. He has to be the one to take it as the libero. We'll actually get a chance to hear from Diego Lopez later in our broadcast. A great interview that he did. And we'll take a look at that one. He did it with Wilner Lewis. But first, NJIT is going to try to find a way to win this one. They are trailing out for the first time as Danny Gonsalves points up at the scoreboard and tells his team to refocus here. Here you see some of the fans enjoying this one. Oh, they're camera shy. Nothing to be afraid of, just America watching. And perhaps around the world, as this is available on our entire ESPN network. Here in the USA, Brazil, Poland, Puerto Rico. The Highlanders have players from everywhere. They've started as many as 3 Brazilian players in a match this year when Gustavo Tricanovic is out there. Bruno Figueiredo out of Rio de Janeiro, their starting setter. Andre Leishu out of Brasilia, Brazil, the capital. 21-20, played by Lopez. They go here to Nowak, down the line. Somehow that's picked up, and it'll be sent over. Second try, Hines, no doubt about that one, off of the hands of Lilly. And the Highlanders will not be denied, and we're tied at 21. So NJIT's best server, and we'll be back to the serve here in Leishu. We look at Hines' kill, one-on-one. Tough one for Lilly to get hands on. Leishu's got 16 aces on the year. But not there, too long. So Lilly, who had a couple aces to fuel a huge run for Mason, misses short here. So the two best servers both committed their first service errors, and it's a race to 3. So here is Alex Hines, who just got that big kill a moment ago. Hines sends it deep. And that's going to find a way to the floor as Welton gets back, at least not into negative territory, now 3 kills and 3 swings. But more importantly, gives his team the lead, 23-20. And the 6'8" sophomore out of Lombard, Illinois, serving away. Great serve, better pass by Elishu. They leave it for Nowak, and he plants it. Off of the hands of the block of Lopez and Lazor, and we are tied at 23. And here is Victor Nowak to serve. Nowak's got 9 aces on the year. That's second on the team. NJIT will go to a blocking sub here. Figueiredo is out, and they will bring in Matuz Bobkowski, 6'6" junior out of London, England. All right, will be this summer. That means Lopez or Elishu likely have hands. Nowak goes deep. Played here by George Mason, swinging a 1-on-1. And it's put down by Jack Lopez. His 4th kill. George Mason leads 24-23. Lopez will serve, and the Patriots, trying to upset the 19th ranked Highlanders today, will have set point in game 1. That is a foot fault. Jerome Best saw it, the line judge. A missed opportunity there for the Patriots as they tried to apply pressure. And we're tied at 24. So they're going to challenge whether or not there was a foot fault. Interesting choice here. I don't think it's a bad choice, because if you're Jay Hossick and you're right, well, you win the set 25-23. So unless it's clear cut that you saw the foot was on the line, you got a challenge here, and that could be the difference between a win and a loss. So I think it's the right call by Coach Hossick. However, on the flip side, if you're wrong, you are left with 1 challenge in the next 4 sets. Well, next 3 sets for sure, because you've got a new one in the 5th. I'd like to see that one again. A little hard to tell from that angle. Again, it's not where you land, because, I mean, the leap is amazing. He landed, it's like a dunk contest, he landed like 9 feet inside the court. It's where you took off from. Where was that toe? We're not going to be able to see there. And Neil Kenzakowski got a good look at it. He shows the 2 fingers. So close is the motion he made to Coach Hossick. But the Patriots lost the challenge there. Left with just 1, and we will head to extra points here in the opening set. Parker Moorhead trying to put his team on top. Oh, change it up there. Evangelista able to split the block. Rob Evangelista's 4th kill. This will be set point number 2 for the Patriots, and they will put it in the hands of their 6'6" senior middle, Elijah Lazor. We'll first go to the bench here, and they will actually make a serving sub. Jackson Herbert, who was an all-EIVA performer a year ago, has not seen a ton of action, though, this season, except in the service rotation. He'll look for set point. The lefty server. Just long. That was one that also probably was close enough if you wanted to take another look at it, but I don't think Patriots want to risk having no challenges the rest of the match. So we'll play on, 25 all. Daniel Letkowski. Good serve by him. I don't think they'll track it down. The defensive player of the week, 6'6" freshman middle out of Avenel, New Jersey, with the ace. Was not heavily recruited. Danny Gonsalves with a steal with this young man in the lineup, and he has set point for NJIT. That one won't do it. It's a little too much mustard on that one. 26-26, more bonus volleyball here in the opening set. And here is Georgi Zahariev. Good serve by him. Better pass by the Highlanders. Nowak in the swing away. And a combo block. Lily teaming with Evangelista. Their game plan was to find a way to slow down Victor Nowak. They did there, something Princeton was not able to do when he had 29 kills 2 weeks ago. This is set point number 3 for the Patriots. Leishu with the pass. Leishu gonna swing away, and he tools the block. Leishu so confidently for a freshman who just arrived on campus before the spring semester. He was not here in the fall. So smart using the outstretched hand there of Welton as an option, and we're tied at 27. Figueiredo with the jump float to serve. Off the shoulder of Figueiredo. What is the call? I think they're saying the Highlanders are into the net, so that will make this set point number 4. Evangelista, you'll serve her. Tight to the net. They leave it here for Nowak. Definitely a piece of that one as you saw the trajectory of the ball pop up. And what a competitive opening set. This is what you expect in this series. Mason has won 3 of the last 4. They actually lead the all-time series 28-9. The Highlanders have won 7 in the last 12, though. We are tied at 28. Serve here by Leishu. The back set. Lopez will lunge for that one. They leave it here for Victor Nowak. Off the inside of the block for the kill. His 3rd of the opening set. And the Highlanders lead 29-28. And they will hand the ball to their best server, Andre Leishu. Set point number 2. That's blocked back, reach out and stuff someone. Alex Hines and Parker. It'll be their setter, Georgi Zahariev to serve. A big serve by him to start it off. Leishu, that's blocked back, with nearly fallen, but Highlanders can't capitalize. Big pop up here, it could be a joust, and no, it's a tool. Tool will block by Leishu, who again finds a way to work with minimal space. That was nearly a trap set. Look how tight that is. And he's able to slam it off of the block of the hands of Welton. As Figueiredo will serve. See Steph Kins wearing the yellow libero uniform as he plays the ball. He will be their libero on serve receive. All EIV honoree as a freshman last year. When they are serving, Robbie Nardoni, number 23, will be the libero majority of the time, as he does real well defensively. And they're on offense. Great pass by Kins, but goes nowhere because NJIT with a solo block. Alex Hines putting up walls. And you look at this one, one-on-one, as he shuts down the attack. 3-0 Highlanders. Go here to Evangelista, and a little bit of a change in arm direction there. Works out well, as it looked like initially he was going to swing cross court. Nah, went deep line. Lopez couldn't handle it, side out. Evangelista too long. Evangelista, who is somebody that Jay Hossack describes as a physical freak. He's built like a truck, like a football player. You look at him, and I think that's a very good description. He looks like a linebacker. Good pass here by Kins. The back row swing no good on the Bick. And the Highlanders have raced out to a 5-1 lead. And you wonder if George Mason may have wasted an opportunity by not winning that first set and putting the pressure on NJIT. Pressure's now on the Patriots down a set. Another big serve. This may come over on one, and it will, but off of the shoulder of Welton. Highlanders, can they counter? They will. On the second try, Nowak doesn't miss. Off the high hands for high school players enjoying this, seeing what maybe they could be one day. 6-1 NJIT. And Aleshu dumps in the ace. Aleshu took a little bit of like a change-up pitch if you're a baseball player. And George Mason couldn't get there in time. They left some sweat on the court, so while they break here, they wipe that up. But Andre Aleshu, they do not give out an EIVA Newcomer of the Year, Rookie of the Year. I really think they should. Because there are some great young players. I thought last year Alexander Lilly from George Mason likely would have won that honor. I thought he was fantastic a year ago. And I think Aleshu very well could be that player this year if they had that award. And that's put down by Jack Lopez. Here is Lilly. First team all-conference last year. He has a chance to be an All-American before his days are done. He's only a sophomore. Parker Moorhead pulling the block. Parker Moorhead, his third kill. Again, it's going to be a day-to-day decision by Danny Gonsalves. Will it be Moorhead out there? Will it be Cherkanovich? It very well could be Gerard if either of them are off. They have options, and that's a beautiful thing if you're trying to win a conference title. Back set here. That will snake through and fall in. A little trick off the net by Welton. He'll take it. He's back above the flat line, and as he's got 4 kills against 4 errors. This will be brought back here by Moorhead after the big serve, and this will be sent over. Keep this rally alive. And that's not coming back, as that's put down by Lopez, another winner. Mount Prospect, Illinois native, showing the hammer. And Mason, once down 6-1. And they are staying alive here within 4. Welton, who we highlighted in the pregame with the serve. That's going to be tight. Saved by Figueiredo and sent over by Latkowski. They leave it here for Welton. Lopez can't handle it. And Welton with the finish. And the Patriots staying alive. Welton had a run of 5 straight matches, double figures in kills. In fact, he had 21 in a 4-set win against Manhattan. But he was held in check in 2 sets against Charleston, 4 kills, 4 errors. Had 8 kills and 4 errors in the comeback win as Latkowski swipes that one down. So he's been a little bit off the mark since they've gotten into EIVA play. He had a 12-kill effort against Ball State, a team that is top 10 in the country. He had 9 errors that day. Here's Victor Nowak serving, his team up 4. This is going to come over on 1. They couldn't swing there. And is that going to be? No, NJIT into the net, and the Highlanders waste the opportunity. Bruno Figueiredo thought that Mason may have interfered with that one, but he was into the net. And there you see it. Easy call for Kevin Ball, our lead official. Side out Patriots as they hand it here to Lopez. Big serve by Lopez, bringing pressure of the Patriots today. And that, there was a touch there. I thought they're going to say no. I thought Moorhead got a deflection there. Take a look at this one again. I'm saying no. And George Mason within 2. Tough serve. Lopez brings it back here. Nowak swinging from deep. And miscommunication. That'll be dumped over. That set in no man's land. From the back row, Aleshu buries it. Robbie Nardoti went down low but couldn't bring it up. And the Highlanders get the side out to end this run. Look at this again. The pick and the blast from Andre Aleshu. Here's Moorhead to serve. Moorhead will wait for that one. Good serve. Better pass by Evangelista. Evangelista will tool the block. Evangelista does such a good job with that arm angle, showing line, and then the last second, changing to the inside trajectory. He looked right there, wow. So athletic, jumped so high, and is able to put down his 6th kill. And matches Lopez for the team high. That serve just too long. Side out Highlanders as they lead 11-8. So Daniel Letkowski, we just showed a moment ago. He was not even an overall first-team All-State performer in New Jersey. It was almost like he got forgotten. But he has come here to Newark and thought maybe he'd be middle 3, maybe the middle 4 to start this year, and making the most of his opportunities. As you see the kill there by Alex Lilly. And here is your setter, Zahariev, with the ace. Ace number 4 for George Mason, their first of the set. They had 3 in the opening set. And he rips that one. That's another tough pass there. Can the Highlanders bring it back? Aleshu, with the change in direction, off the triple block, it falls in. Andre Aleshu facing definitely a double, potentially a triple. Evangelista dropped off at the end to cover, but it's off the inside of the block, and the Highlanders get the side out. Down 2, here's Figueiredo. He'll go deep with it. That's a little tight, and they'll have to be dumped over. As an errant pass, NJIT will try to run their system, and the system runs through Victor Nowak. Bad pass by the Patriots allowed this one to be wide open. Nowak planted right in the middle of the court, didn't even have to go full throttle. Lopez wants that one back as he shows his frustration on the ball. Off of the hands of the NJIT block. This will be a kill here for Welton, who's now got 6 kills. Evangelista back to serve. Nowak, that's blocked back. This will be recycled. They'll leave it here for guess who? Andre Aleshu tooling the block again. Andre Aleshu, such a witty player, comes out of the Brazilian national program. And despite being maybe a little bit undersized, they list him at 6'4", but I'm 6'1", and maybe he's 1.5 inches taller than me at best. But he could probably jump 3 times as high, as that is put down by Lopez, his 7th kill. Lopez hitting close to 500 today. Back to actually right on 500 now. 7 kills, 1 error, and 12 swings. As the Patriots are hitting 400 in this second set, but the Highlanders bearing them up at 429. That's blocked back. They're going to give it again here to Moorhead. And cross-court angle, did he get it? He did. What an angle for Moorhead as he sticks it right on the sideline. Paul Johnson, our line judge in front of the George Mason bench, saw it perfectly. Momentarily hesitated. And then it's like, yeah, that one was in, folks. That ball coming at 60 miles an hour. That one, no doubt about that one. An ace for NJIT. As Alex Hines, it looks so harmless, but the floater finds a perfect spot. And the Highlanders push the lead back to 4. Third ace of the match for NJIT. Tough serve again by Hines. Put down here by Lazor. Lazor, a transfer from St. Francis. Too long on the attack here by Welton. Welton is a player that George Mason feels his future is, almost the ceiling with him is hard to predict. His potential is probably All-America level. It's a fact that can they bring him consistency? He moved from the left side to the right side this year. And we'll see this serve too long by NJIT. And you can see glimpses that he's got the ability to play at the next level. By the next level, I mean probably professionally in Europe. They got to keep that more consistent. That one is gone. As Lopez, that one got away from him and sails into the Newark night. 4-point lead for NJIT as we are more than halfway through this second set. Highlanders survived to win the first one, 30-28. Parker Moorhead, your server. Evangelista falling back. Tried to stick in the corner but cannot make the connection. And now Jay Hosick, no choice but to call timeout. His team finds themselves in a 5-point hole. Danny Gonsalves coaching on his team. You see Danny pretending to jump there. He was a great player back in his day. I don't know how high Danny can jump anymore. In his 40s now. Jay Hosick, the head coach, well, he was a great player himself back in the day. He played at UC Santa Cruz. The Banana Slugs, one of the great nicknames in college athletics. I was talking before the match about our playing days. I was a far lesser player than Mr. Hosick there, but he's from California originally. Back then, there were not a lot of Division I or Division III teams, so you played who you played. And Santa Cruz, a D3 program. I think the only other team out in California at that time was Laverne. But they were playing UCLA and Stanford and Pepperdine and USC. So you talk about having to adjust. Coach Hosick probably about 6'1", 6'2". That is where he got his start. And he's had a great coaching career that took him from Irvine, the Penn State. He was actually the head coach at UC Santa Cruz. Now 11 years here for George Mason, his team down 5. That's blocked back, will not stay on the floor, however, and a put away and a side out for Welton as Aiden gets the put away, and we'll go to the bench, and we'll see Jackson Herbert again. Herbert was second team All-EIVA last year. He's a lefty opposite who converted to outside. He's part of the U21 Beach National Team program, so brings those outside skills inside, and that definitely correlates directly to the inside game. Makes you a far superior passer. That one trickles off the net side out. Mason within 3. Talked about that beach game, and the ball control that Herbert shows is off the charts for an outside. And that one off of the block falls at the feet of Welton. Reacted just a tad too late, and the Highlanders, the first and 20, will get the side out. Herbert has not been able to put the same offense up that Jack Lopez and Welton and Evangelista have been able to score, but George Mason's still finding great use of him as a server. That one off the tape, Evangelista serving. That's defended by Adam Urinyuk, who's down on the match. And Mason into the net. That's a blocking error on the Patriots. Side out NJIT. Take a look at this one. Yep, I think it was actually Lilly caught it. And the Highlanders back up by 5. As Urinyuk, your server. They go to the outside. Block back. Is it in? It is indeed. Reach out and stuff someone. Can't get past the 6'10 Victor Nowak. And he shuts it down solo style. Actually, no. That wasn't Victor Nowak. I gave him credit for Bruno Figueiredo's block. Bruno Figueiredo, the center, with the stuff down. And that one off of the head of Figueiredo. No better that at that time. Evangelista puts it away. Feel bad about that one. Bruno doesn't get a ton of solo blocks. As for Figueiredo, That is his first solo block of the year. My bad, young man. My bad. As that one sails long, and NJIT, up 6, has a chance to put their foot down here. 23-17. As Figueredo, the solo block master, serving away. They run the middle here. Have not been able to use Lily a lot because this passing's been off. That's going to sail out of play for the kill. Aleshu's 12th kill. He's hitting .588. And NJIT, 7 set points. Well, they're going to have to keep playing on because Alex Lilly just buried that in the earth like hitting lines. Talked about the passing. If the passing's there, they can run everyone, and you go on Alex Lilly, look out, because he could do that. Set point number 2, Evangelista, your server. Good pass here by Aleshu. Back set, and a solo block as Aleshu got shut down by Lopez. Look at this one again. Lopez read it well, and you see the turn of the hands right back to the middle of the court, puts it on the line. Set point number 3, 24-19. Figueredo looks at his options, and that's the best one. As Aleshu swipes it off the block, his 13th kill, and NJIT up 2-0 in their quest for their 9th win in a row as they win 25-19. And having better side-out runs. That's been a key for NJIT in their success, is not allowing teams to go on rallies. We start the 3rd set. There's a kill for Lopez. He's got 8. And Lopez will be our first server. As that's left short. Yeah, you saw a lot of George Mason highlights as we started that 3rd set because Mason's been right there. They could still win this one. They're capable of a reverse sweep here, and that's something the Highlanders, they really must focus on. They cannot take their foot off the gas if they would like to improve to 4-0 in the conference. Good serve by Aleshu off of the tape. Highlanders set up the combo block to try to shut down the line, and it works as Mason, that's off the net and out of bounds. Point NJIT. Look at Nowak. There's actually a triple there with Hines and Moorhead, and they closed off any chance to go on the angle, and the Highlanders with a big one. Big serve by Aleshu, that comes over. Figueredo looking for his options. He chooses Moorhead as it's blocked back. Figueredo, hey, Moorhead again. And this time he got blocked. So it went to the well one too many times. And a little too tight there for Moorhead to have options there as that is shut down by Lazor. Into the net. Another service error on Mason. That's something we haven't talked about, and we guys probably have to now because the numbers are just too big to ignore. George Mason, a team that came in knowing that they had to apply more service pressure because they were accurate, but it wasn't scoring points. Well, as that is bombs away by Evangelista. Great swing by Rob. Mason has been the opposite today of efficient. 15 service errors. 15. NJIT just 6. That's not something that you see initially in the box score. And it's critical right now, as that's now service error number 16. I mentioned it at the start of the match. Keys to the match for George Mason, and the biggest one was aggressive serving. They have been a team that has committed low error percentage this year, but they haven't put a lot of pressure on. Today they've tried to put the pressure on, and it's backfiring. Nowak takes something off of that one. It'll come over on one. They leave it here for Letkowski. It's going to be a joust and put down Free Ball City. Alex Hines, uncontested to the floor. I thought Letkowski might go up to challenge him in the joust. Did not, as he came off the net to try to play it. Thought Lopez might still have a chance to pass it. And we're tied at 4. Nice pass by Moorhead. They're going to run Latkowski. Great dig here. And a save by Mason. There is Nowak. Oh, destroys it from the back row. After the great dig by Nardoni to keep it alive for Mason, doesn't matter. Nowak buries that one in the earth. No one in this gym could swing like that, and from that trajectory at 6'10", as that is just long. Tied at 5. That will definitely end up on Victor's highlight reel. Victor from Sidlice, Poland, which is about an hour's drive east of the capital, Warsaw. And he puts away another one. And Nowak, who they had done a fair job of keeping track on for the first 2 sets, had only had 5 kills and 14 swings. Well, now 2 kills here already at the start of game number 2. Leishu's got 13. He's had the bigger total attack opportunity today with 19. Mason probably thought it was going to be Nowak because he's carried the heavy load. But Leishu's been the hot hand, and Lopez can't connect here as he misses that one wide. Lopez with a hot start with 8 kills, just 1 error, has now committed 2 in a row here in this 3rd set, and the Highlanders lead by 2 as Latkowski left that one just short. So here is Lily. Lily's got 5 kills, 3 blocks, hitting 300 today, and a couple of aces. That wants to get one here to get his team back in it. Leishu, great pass in the middle. Hines. And now have to come over as Patriots with miscommunication. The run Hines again. Little tight to the net. Lopez got a hand on that one after it's put over, and Leishu swinging cross court. They leave it here, cross court. What an angle for Lopez, as he's able to work out the yips and puts that one away. 4-4, what a spot. Look at that one again, that's just beautiful. Got to admire when you can make that kind of an adjustment. Lily left it short, service error number 17 for Mason. And Figueredo will be the server. Moorhead digs that one up. Nowak. Oh, smart play. Wicked spot. Victor Nowak doesn't full swing it. He sees the combo block, sees the opening right there at the letters, and tips it off the inside hand for the winner. Lopez again trying to go line, and again fails. And the difference, you're really good. And he's also a good server with his little jump float. And he serve it away here. Better pass. And Lazor gets a swing just for the 5th time today. That's his 3rd kill. Nice pass by Evangelista, allowed that all to happen. Welton will serve. Figueredo will come collect that one. Nowak swinging away. And a combo block. They slowed him down. That was the setter, and a big setter at 6'7". And Georgi Zahariev teaming with Lazor as the 6.5 block of the match for George Mason. And that's where that half comes from. You get credit for a additional half a block on a triple block. Triple block won't stop that one as Victor Nowak able to bombard it off for the tool. Side out NJIT. For those who don't understand blocking statistics, if it's a solo block, you're the only one who gets credit, and it's 1.0 blocks to the team. If it's a double block, 2 involved, still 0.1 for the team. That one off of the dome. That will be rejection city for NJIT. I think that might have hit Hines' head. Oh, it did. Alex Hines, it looked like it hit him in the left ear, perhaps. That is a solo block. Way to use your head, young man. the Highlanders pick up their 8.5 block of the match. Again, on the triple block, it goes down as 1.5 blocks statistically, so all 3 players get credit for it. This looks a little funny in the box score sometimes, so always helpful to explain it. Big serve there by Elishu. Elishu lays out for the dig on the attack by Welton. And Moorhead tooling the block. No, it caught him on the way down, and it will belong to the Patriots. What a dig by Elishu. They go here to Moorhead. Yeah, on the way down, did catch his shoulder. So that will go down as a combo block. And Mason within 2 as Lopez, who's had a nice day now with 9 kills, will serve. Overruled. Kevin Ball overrules that one. And I think George Mason's going to challenge this one, and they should. I think that was definitely in. And it was called in by Jerome Best, our line judge. He's smiling because I think he knows he's right. Our R1 and R2, who are a really good crew, Kevin Ball and Neil Kenzlikowski, overruled him. And I think this one will be brought back. If Mason's right, they will keep the challenge. If they're wrong, well, they better hope the officiating crew is perfect the rest of the day, because they will be out of challenges as they exhausted 2 in that first set, including a big one on what would have been set point. It could have changed the trajectory of this match. They've seen enough, and it was indeed in. So Jerome Best knows best. And that is an ace for George Mason. And here's the thing we didn't even talk about. Andre Leishu even pointed at it and said in. The players know. Probably best for him not to do that. You don't want to give the officials any assistance. Good pass here by Moorhead. Leishu from the back row with the pick and the blast. Andre Leishu, his 14th kill, and Elishu in double figures in kills for the 3rd consecutive match and the 7th time in the last 8 matches. In fact, now 10 times this year, including once against Hawaii, against Ball State as well, and some top teams, as Mason gets the side out. He's had a high of 17 against LIU, 16 against Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Jessup. That came in 3 sets against Jessup. And he's been a spark plug tonight for this Highlander team, but they're only up 1. Oh, Daniel Latkowski doing bad things. Perfect pass by Moorhead, and then Latkowski right off of the shoulder of the counterpart in the middle in Elijah Lazor, who tattooed with Latkowski's name on it. What a swing. Nowak, who's been such more efficient server this year than, well, Alex Lilly tucked a little bit at the net there as he showed he's capable of big bombs too. Look at the replay here. One-on-one with Latkowski. Lilly buries that one. His 6th kill. And good serve here by their setter in Zahariev. Oh, and then Victor Nowak. It was in, however, Kevin Ball, our official, says he was over the 10-foot line, and he absolutely was. Great call by Kevin Ball, as Nowak was about a half of a foot over the line, and I'm sure Victor Nowak probably wears a size 20 shoe. So that's a big, big boot, as that is a big, big ace. And Mason has taken the lead, 15-14. Zahariev with his 2nd ace of the day and the 6th for the team. So Mason has stormed back, trying to make this one go at least 4. Moorhead says, well, not so fast. Tooling the block, his 5th kill. And he'll drop back to serve. Moorhead does such a great job of swinging right into the hands, and unless they're perfect with the block scheme, that's going to be a tool, as it was there. But he misses short, Just the 9th service error for the Highlanders. And Mason back on top 16-15. Remember, they had multiple set points in the first set. Highlanders hung on to win 30-28. Evangelista dig there against Latkowski, and then reach out and stuff someone. Bruno Figueiredo and Daniel Latkowski with the stuff down. And we're tied at 16 all. There you see the Wellness and Events Center, named after former NJIT President Joel Bloom and his wife Diane, who so instrumental in the growth of NJIT into one of the top research universities in America today. Leishu with the tip, played here by Mason. The triple block, it'll fall in a useful spot for Aiden Welton, his 8th kill. And Mason has retaken the lead for the 3rd time. It's 17-16 as we go back and forth in game 3. Highlanders win this 3rd set. They win their 9th in a row. Mason wants to avoid that and make this go at least 4 as that one sails wide. Their 18th service error as Figueiredo will serve. 18 service errors is the 3rd most in the match this year for George Mason. They had 23 in that match against Catawamba in the first match of the year. They survived in 5. That is wide, as Welton cannot connect 2-2. They also had 19 service errors and a 4-set win against Manhattan. And I said they survived against Catawamba. They actually lost that match. I stand corrected. Lost that in 5. That is an ace for NJIT as they retake how things pan out this year. Now, NJIT, as we head back to live action, could be right for an upset come postseason play. But we have a long way to go before that comes. The entire month of March, most of the month of April, and we still have volleyball to play here both tonight and in the month of February, although it is February 20th. And this month, the shortest month of the year, always goes so fast. As that one left short, Mason with a chance to tie it, but instead, their 20th service error and the 20th point for NJIT. And now, Andre Aleshu, 14 kills, hitting 500 tonight. He's got an ace, and he applies the pressure. Good answer for Welton, his 10th kill. He's in double figures. Nice back set by Zahariev, who picks up his 34th assist. And here is Lopez. Got an ace tonight. He's one of 4 Patriot players who've chalked up an ace. Aleshu goes down low for that one. They leave it for Nowak. Nowak played here by Nardoni. I don't think that ever went over. And immediately, Alex Hines like, no, no, no. I never got a hand on that. And after a delayed call, I do think the officials got that right. I think that carried off of the tape. I did not see a block touch. So they got that one right. 2-point lead. Hines your server. Played here, Figueiredo with the dig. Moorhead cross court, no. Substitution here as Mason has a chance to tie it. They will bring back in Jackson Herbert. Herbert, again, his offense not at the level of some of his teammates, but man, when he's out there, you have a very consistent defensive player, good server, good ball control, and he can help you offensively. It's just for Jay Hostick's club, he's got more firepower and other options. So NJIT, if they are able to win today, tomorrow at 12 p.m., won't be on ESPN, we'll be back on our America East network. We'll have an opportunity to break their all-time Division I record and win their 10th match in a row. And it's really remarkable. When the year started, NJIT, I should say, 2 matches on the Big Island, Hawaii. Hawaii, one of the best teams in the country, didn't really handle themselves well. Big crowd, 8,000 people on hand for the first match of the year. And you could see that they were a little starstruck. I was watching that one on ESPN. I stayed up past midnight on the East Coast to get a chance to see them. It's the first match of the year played anywhere in the country by anyone. So they started early. They challenged themselves. Hawaii twice, Ball State, Ohio State. And what that's done, they started 0-5, and it's allowed them to find out what kind of team. This is a young team. No one on NJIT has come into the year with more than a year of experience in their position, and they're starting multiple freshmen. And look at the result. The youth movement is alive and well. Lopez, oh, what a pancake by Figueiredo. They're saying it hit the floor, and he runs immediately. The head coach, Danny Goncalves, is like, I got underneath that one. And I think they're going to challenge it, and if they win, it'll be a replay. Let's take a look here. Diego Lopez, the first touch. Yeah, that is absolutely a pancake. I'm shocked they don't challenge it. 21 all, we're tied. Aleshu, big pass. Nowak got blocked, but NJIT stays with it. And Victor Nowak takes George Mason to rejection city. What a block as they penetrate deep over the net. And I thought that not challenging that previous call might come back to hurt them, but they answer with some defense of their own. 22-21, Victor Nowak. Figueiredo says no. Daniel Letkowski there with them for the combo block, but it was the hands of Figueiredo that did the final closeout, and NJIT leads 23-21. What a third set. Quality volleyball between these two top EIVA opponents. Big toss here for Nowak. They will leave it here, and that was stabbed at by Lopez, but will fall in for the kill. Number 11 for Welton, and the Patriots remain alive. 23-22. Fantastic effort for both of these teams. Zahariev is your server. The Bulgarian swinging away. Into the net, leaves it short. 20th service error of the night for George Mason, and NJIT up 24-22 sends Parker Moorhead back for match point. Backhand to Evangelista, played by Nowak. They'll leave it here for Aleshu. The big dig, and then it'll be blocked off of the hands of Daniel Letkowski for the winner by Evangelista. Credit there to Steph Kins. Haven't said his name nearly enough tonight. The 6'2 sophomore libero at Chicago got the touch. Match point number 2 as Evangelista takes something off of it. Close to the net. And who touched it last? Mason did. They're talking this one over. This is the difference between life and death. And it appears as if Mason has run out of life here in game number 5. They will challenge this one because they do have a challenge left. You have to look at this if you're Jay Hosick, because obviously, if not, that's it. Good night. So if this was last touch by NJIT, we will be tied at 24-24. If not, then the Highlanders will sweep this one in 3. That responsibility falls in the hands of our R2, Neil Kenzakowski. There's your EIVA standings. NJIT, of course, in the America East in most sports, but not in volleyball. They are one of the longtime members of the EIVA. If win today, NJIT would move in the first place by themselves at 4-0. And they will indeed, as the call stands on the court. It was indeed out, and NJIT has swept George Mason here in Newark, and the number 19 ranked team in the country prevails again. They're 9th in a row.